Welcome to Ghost Education 101, where curiosity meets experience and the doors to the entire paranormal landscape are finally open. Hosted by Dr. Heather Lee and Dr. Tiffany Frazier, this series is built for everyone who wants to understand the unexplained the right way. Whether you're just stepping into the unknown or you've been investigating for years, this is the place where you can sharpen your approach, deepen your understanding, and cut through the misconceptions that have overrun this field for far too long. Each episode walks you through the full spectrum of paranormal activity. Classic hauntings, intelligent spirits, cryptids, elemental beings, poltergeist phenomena, and the modern challenges investigators face today. We break it all down. The science, the method, and the mystery, without dumbing it down and without drifting into theatrics. Grounded in research, history, and real-world investigation, Ghost Education 101 is your classroom, your laboratory, and your gateway into the most compelling unexplained experiences on record. Learn, question, discover. Welcome to Ghost Education 101. Now, here are your hosts, Dr. Heather Lee and Dr. Tiffany Frazier.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ghost Education 101. Tonight, I have an amazing special guest. She is a return guest on the show. You've seen her several times throughout the years that we've been doing the show, and I believe I also had her on my other show, Exploring the Paranormal, several years back. But before we get started, you guys are noticing probably that I am missing my co-host. She will not be here today. She is taking care of a sick puppy, but we hope to have her back next week. And also, as a quick reminder, next week we do have a panel discussion. We will be talking about the Hat Man and Shadow People. We do have 2 spots left on that panel discussion. So if anyone has any experiences with the Hat Man or Shadow People, please do feel free to reach out to Ghost Education 101, send us a message on our Facebook page, and let us know that you would be interested. Like I said, we do have 2 spots left open for that panel discussion, and it airs next week on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern. So before I continue, I say this every time I'm doing the show alone, before I continue babbling on, let's bring our guest on. Welcome to the show. So happy to have you back on.
I'm happy to be back with you. I am forward to this.
You're always a fun guest to have on the show. So
thank you.
It's like today at work, it was like one of those days. It was just if one thing could go wrong, it did. And I was like, usually by about 5 o'clock, I'm like, I really don't want to do Ghost Education tonight. And I was like, wait, I can't not want to do it tonight because it's you. So I knew I had to be here tonight.
Thank you so much. I've missed you.
No, I do too. We need to stay in more contact, not just when we do shows together.
I know, because this is too far between.
I know. And I mean, the best part about it, though, is when you are on the show, we do catch up beforehand and then during the show, too. Mm-hmm. And Pam, I do see your comment. So do please send us a message and we'll definitely get you on that panel discussion next week. So real quick, I know you have a lot of people from your page chiming in, and we do have Anton from our YouTube page watching. But for those who might not know who you are, can you give everybody a quick description on who you are, what you do, and why you are on the show tonight?
Sure. Cyn Shrader Hill. I'm an author, paranormal investigator, researcher, storyteller, speaker, all that good stuff. And I am on Facebook. You can find me there. You can also find me at elkvalleyparanormal.com. And I write books, and they're self-published, and they're on Amazon, and I'm now up to 9.
You finally just passed me by 1.
You'll get, but you're about to.
I know, once everything gets going. Yep. I don't actually, you hadn't seen my Facebook page in a while. I did just get the cover for the new book from my Civil War book from Florida. That's publishing. So I was supposed to have them here, but the shipment didn't come yet. But I'm looking forward to that one. That actually releases next May. But they're sending it to me early. But you take a whole different route than I do. So I go through the traditional route, slowly going to be getting into that self-publishing. But what is the best thing about self-publishing as a paranormal author, do you think?
I can get things out when I want them out. and offer them different forms. It's the same. It's on KDP on Amazon. It's all there together. I just like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I just like it.
yeah. It's hit or miss. It's one or the other. I want to do the new way that everybody's doing it, but I guess I was, but I mean, we're similar in age, so I guess I just haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet. I'm still on that old school where you got to have a publisher, you got to have an agent, you got to.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
A lot of people still like that. I guess I just don't like to be tied down. I want to control it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's the hardest part. And I'll pop some of these up here since real quick. But like I said, we do have Anton. He's a regular from our show on YouTube. And then Pam, welcome to the show. There you go. David.
And David
as well. Throughout the show tonight, feel free to ask any questions you guys have. Total open discussion, anything paranormal, anything non-paranormal. I just can't guarantee that she'll want to answer it.
If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you.
Yep, exactly. That's how I am too. And going back to the self-publishing, just one more question to get that off the table. What is the biggest challenge that you have? Because that's the one question that we get. Because I know my co-host self-publishes as well, and she gets asked that question a lot.
I think tying myself down to a certain date, things like that, because I start thinking, okay, I want to get this particular book out by so-and-so, and then I'll change my mind midstream and bring out 2 others before that one. So, scheduling. I'm going to do an old hospital book, and I was going to do it this year because this was the 25th anniversary of the closing, and I couldn't do it. It was going to be one of those that takes a lot out of me and a lot of more research, and I had to talk to a bunch of people, and I haven't scheduled any of that. So I'm going to do it for the 30th anniversary. So I've got 5 more years.
You got plenty of time for that one, and then. You should see my computer screen. Actually, we were slow today at work, so I brought my personal computer out and I had it on the table, and I had like 17. Between 2 actual windows, I probably had 17 tabs open. And one of my coworkers walks up behind me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I can't focus." So I have every book I'm working on, every homework assignment I'm working on, and I just spend like 5 minutes on this one, and then I switch to the next tab. And 5 minutes, like
yes.
ADHD on super fire, and I get more done that way, even though I have,
I think most of us are like that.
Yeah.
Because I get bored. I just get bored, and I've got to do something else. I've got to have multi things going. And I've got several books going as well.
Okay. It must be an author thing, or we have similar personalities and it just works that way.
I think we're finding out we're a lot alike.
Yep. And that's the scary part.
That is scary. That is scary. On my half for you. So
right.
I could be more like you and be more educated and smarter and all that kind of stuff and be happy. But you would just get the craziness, I think.
Oh, no, I have craziness too. I've just learned to control it.
Okay. You find it well.
It takes some time but I've learned, no. People at work think I'm crazy, but yeah. But they don't say anything because I'm their boss.
They're afraid of it.
Exactly. Real quick before I go on, Pam posted, we got a new publisher for our 2nd edition this March. We made all the decisions. They have been great.
Awesome.
And it makes it great to have many platforms for the book. Yep. And then I love this multi-core processing. Exactly.
Absolutely.
How I feel every day. And I'm sorry if there's a lot of rattling in the background. Our kitten has decided to play right beside me. So she's going crazy, and the dog's on the other side of me snoring. So it's going to be an interesting night. With your new books that you have coming out, I know we touched briefly on them. Technically, it was going to be 1 book turned into 2. Do you mind sharing what they're about without giving too much away? Because, of course, I know everybody needs to go buy them before they can learn exactly what's in there.
Sure. This has actually turned into something I didn't even dream of. Mark Elliott Fultz, he's the one that does the covers and the illustrations of my book. And he also, I edit for him on his books. So we kind of trade out that way. We're partners in our publishing company, Fultz Hill Press, and he's just wonderful to work with. So he gave me 60 articles that he had found from old newspapers and said, I'm not going to do anything with this. If you like it, you do something. And I was like, oh, this is great. Yes, absolutely. It was about headless ghosts.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
he had 60 stories of headless ghosts. So, unfortunately, I have developed a habit now. I have subscribed to newspaper.com, and
It's addicting.
oh my gosh, I am stuck on there. So 60 stories has become close to 700 now.
Mm-hmm.
And so this book has become a series. It's become the Unquiet Dead series. And the first installment was going to be just Headless Ghosts, but I thought, I'm going to add some color to that. So all the white ladies and the women in black and the men in black and the gray man and all these other green lady of Thorpe Hall, the green page, yellow boy. I thought they need to go in this to add a little extra. And so it became Headless Ghost and Colorful Spirits. But 600 pages later, I decided, you know what? This needs a part 1 and a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I've separated them, and we got the first one. There, she's headless. She's gorgeous, but she's headless.
I love that. Yep.
Then the part 2 is about, the cover is about a black bonnet story, a ghost in a black bonnet. So Mark helped me out, of course, with those covers. And his name is also on these books. What I've decided, and all these books are open and I'm collecting or on them, and I've been writing on each of them. I'm going to have a Christmas Spirits installment. I'm going to have a Monsters and Mayhem installment, which includes vampires, witches, banshees, all werewolves, all of the crazy stuff. And these were actually newspaper articles that were in old newspapers. I've gone back through the early 1800s, and some of the stories come from the 1600s and before. And it's just things they've passed down. It's amazing. So there's also going to be a mediums, spiritualism and mediums. There's going to be just ghost, whatever else I find that just doesn't fit into any of these other installments, just going to go into the ghost book. So some kind of hauntings. There's going to be haunted objects, haunted animal haunts, animal ghosts. So it's extraterrestrials and cryptids. I think I got them all now. But that many little in the series, that many little characterizations. So it's been fun.
Yep. Yeah. No, as you were talking, I was just trying to look up something. I need to find my notes for it. But when I was researching one of the books for Florida, I came across a witch story that I didn't use, but you might be interested in it. So I'll try to find it for you.
Okay.
But yeah, it was in the town that we lived in, and it was tied to the witch. Children were disappearing, and people in the community back in the 1800s were attributing it to a witch in town taking the kids.
I would love to have that one included.
I know I have the notes somewhere, maybe a week or two because we're moving, but I'll get that for you.
Yes, no, that book, I was going to try to bring it out in October, but I decided this one that I've been working on for 3 years probably needs to come out next. So Chill to the Bone is coming out around October. Okay. And that'll be some spooky stuff. That means Monsters will come out next year. So
okay. I got time. I'll get that for you. And I mean, I have, because there was a book I started in Florida before we moved, and the publisher I use only lets you, one of the publishers, because I have two of them, one only lets you write books if you're in the state that you're writing about, because you can promote it then. And in the middle of writing it, it was Urban Legends of Florida was what I was starting to write. And we ended up moving in the middle of that, and they dropped the contract. But then I
Oh,
signed a different contract in Texas. So it all worked out. But I have all those notes from that research that I can probably pass your way, and it might be some interesting stories for you. Everything
awesome.
from swamp monsters to
Oh,
you name it, Florida has it.
right?
Yep.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. And I do agree, Pam. The Christmas one sounds amazing. And
Christmas
then
spirits, yeah.
Anton, Frontier Hauntings.
Oh,
Something to
no,
think about there.
yeah. I've
Wild
actually
West.
some of the headless ghosts are from the Old West and Native Americans. So scalpings and
Yep.
things like that went farther than scalpings. They went ahead and just chopped the head off.
Yep.
Because a lot of the headless ones we know of are English.
Yep.
Because of all the beheadings at Tower Bridge or the Tower of London. And a lot of them we know around here might have gotten run over by a train, and now they're walking the tracks looking for their head. I think that's in just about every county in the United States.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. And whether it's a true story or just an urban legend, you never know. But sometimes those urban legends can become true because we've manifested it ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Florida had a famous one, even though I completely disproved this pirate ever existed. But the pirate Gasparilla, Jose Gaspar, he's rumored to be haunting an island, missing his head because his head was chopped off. But the pirate never existed. So not only did he never exist, but now there's this people have seen a spirit of a headless pirate walking the beaches of an island down in Florida.
See, now that's what a lot of people don't understand yet is these thought forms that we can actually make things happen.
Yep. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
enough people, yeah.
Not a lot of people were happy when I published that he never existed, even though I'm not the first one to publish that, because his legend has become so famous that he even made it into the top 100 book published in like the early 1900s of pirates. And Tampa celebrates. They have the Gasparilla Festival every year, and they celebrate him. And he never. There's no name tied to that guy anywhere in the records.
But yet now he does exist because
Yep.
people have thought him into existence.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and his legend, nobody cares that he wasn't real. They just continue on as if he was, and he's still, people share his tale, and it's a long tale, but yeah, it's interesting. Where we go? I have a few more comments here. About Ireland. Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I've got
my dad.
A couple.
Yeah, my dad always wanted to go to Ireland and ride a bicycle from pub to pub. I think it would be fun doing it for just fun. He would do it for the beer and I would do it for the ghosts because they're all haunted.
I want to go with you and do it for the ghosts.
We'll bring you with.
Okay, that sounds great.
And Dawn is joining us. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dawn.
And then Anton, San Antonio is ghost children pushing the car off the railroad tracks is another popular one. There was one of those in Florida. Yep, and manifested the headless pirate. Exactly. Yep.
It just makes you wonder how many things we actually have manifested.
Yep. Yeah.
It's probably so many more than even we can come up with, just thinking about writing it down.
Yeah. And it's scary too, because it's, and that goes into also the fear is when you're in a haunted location and you've heard these stories, are you having paranormal experiences because your fear is heightened? And you're kind of like, not even so much self-manifesting them, your brain is thinking, explanations for why you feel the way you feel, or is it really a spirit there? Or, I think it's a combination of both, most likely.
Goodness. I wish you could talk about what you just told me off camera.
Which one?
Where you had a run-in with one.
Oh, I can. Yes, I can. You haven't heard that story?
No.
Oh, okay. It was a case. It was a residential, and I don't do residentials anymore because I found there's too many legalities tied to those. But this was a team that I was on in Vegas, and the investigator that I was with, I wish I could work with him more, but he's in Vegas. We're in Texas. He's the type of investigator, we think the same. And we can be in a dark room together and know what each other's doing. We're on the same wavelength. We can be in separate parts of the house and we know what each other's doing. We were that connected on the investigation. A mom called us in. Her daughter had been dabbling in witchcraft, which is the main reason they sent me in, is because my background, I was raised Roman Catholic, but now I practice witchcraft and I was able to help the daughter. But we found out during the case that she had a tarot deck. The death card was missing from the tarot deck. And she, didn't know what she was doing, basically. And the mom just didn't know what to do. There was activity in the home. A little bit of a backstory to it. We did do research on the home. It was a newer community. So it was, I want to say like late 1990s, maybe early 2000s. So it wasn't an old community, but the spirits that were there were older. And the land, it was a farmhouse at one time. And the dad had killed both the son and the mom and then killed himself.
Lot of blood trauma.
So while we were there in the home, I'll have to send you the photo. We captured a photo of 3 shadow figures standing in front of a closet, and you can see the 3 different heights: mom, dad, and the little boy. We've EVPs of, like we asked, did you take the death card? And there was a male's voice that was like, yes. And then a woman's voice was like, no. So she was correcting him. And so we had all of those, and this was going on and on. During the investigation, my partner, well over 6 foot, I would say he's like 6'4", definitely could take, knock me on my butt if he wanted to. His eyes went solid black. He lost, and he just stood there still. He was stiff as a board. And I'm in the home alone with this guy, and I'm like, oh, crap. I trust him with my life, but at that point, I did not.
No.
And I was like, in my head, I'm counting to 10. If I get to 10, I'm dragging his butt outside and getting him on some grass and kind of saging him and doing whatever I could to get him to. But I was like at 5, and all of a sudden he came to. And he continued he was mid-sentence and continued his sentence where he left off. He had no idea he had blacked out.
He didn't.
No idea. He was like, he felt woozy, but he had no idea he had blacked out. We were investigating in the master bathroom, looking at the closet. And I said to him, I'm like, there's something big back in that closet. And he's like, I feel it, but he couldn't see it, but I could see a big shadow. And all of a sudden it rushed out at us.
And got into him.
That's what we're thinking, because that had happened just before that. During the investigation as well, we were in the daughter's bedroom, and in the bedroom she had a little vanity with a mirror, and then her dresser. Mirrors were facing each other. Both mirrors started shaking and rattling against the walls. What topped everything is at the end of the investigation, I was cleansing the home using cascarilla and saging it and, doing everything that I do, sea salt on the ledges. I was in the tub because she had a big window over her master tub, and I was cleansing that area. And I don't know if it picked me up, it didn't pick me up far, but it felt like something swiped my legs out from underneath me, and I fell on my hands and knees inside the tub.
Wow.
Yeah. I stood up. I started screaming at it. I'm like, we do not treat people like that. We don't do this and this. And the minute I started doing that, the other investigator, because the mom had returned home because it was the end of the investigation, they both come running up the stairs, and the house actually got brighter.
Wow.
I started yelling at the spirit, and it just whole change in sense. The mom, she had her mother's ashes in the bedroom as well. The urn started shaking during the investigation. It was like, it was all night long, one thing after another. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you were in a movie.
I know. That's what it felt like. So, and like I said, we took that case, and with Blake Best, we've turned it into a book. So we're hoping to get that finished and get that.
That's amazing. I mean, the story itself is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the fact that you're adding to it to make it
scary.
Yeah. You didn't have to.
I know. But yeah, it was probably because also, and then we had talked about, I had mentioned that the spirits had followed us home. And my home is always protected to anything negative. Nothing negative can cross over. There's crystals everywhere and whatnot. And when I came home, it sounded like something punched our front door.
Oh.
And when I looked out the peephole to see if anyone was there, I didn't see anyone running away. or anything. It was just, it was loud, and yeah.
Did they stay there, or that was just
He couldn't get in, I'm assuming, and he was pissed and he punched the front door and left.
okay?
It's kind of the sensation we were getting, because, you know, I've had spirits in our home, but they've all been like, one spirit would come, we would do our investigations for the team trainings at the same place every month, and COVID hit. We didn't go for several weeks, and he showed up in my kitchen. But it was more of a, hey, I'm just checking on you type of, you know, he just stood there for a minute, was like, oh, you know, saw it was okay, and then he kind of disappeared.
Oh,
So spirits can get in, but nothing negative has ever gotten in. So
well, that was kind of sweet, though, just checking on.
it was. That's kind of how it felt. It was, I turned around, he was standing there, and I was like, and then he saw me, and he just kind of faded away.
Oh,
So
wow. Oh, my
Yep.
goodness. That's
Yeah.
incredible, Heather.
yeah, Pam.
Exactly, Pam.
Yeah. And then she also wants to know, do you and your partner publish for others?
I edit for others and then let them take their manuscript and do with what they want.
Mhm.
So that's how I edit and help others. That's why if you go to Amazon and you put in my name, Cyn Shrader Hill, you'll bring up everybody I've edited for, which is Mark Elliott Foltz, Eric Freeman Sims, who owns the Night House in Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Yep.
And he's got 2 books out now. And
Yeah, I saw he was recently starting to publish. I was like, good for him, because I know he's been talking about it for a while.
yes, so we got those edited. And then I was also in Till Gray's, one of her books, and then a photograph in another book. So you'll bring Till Gray's books up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I did a search just before the show, and a whole bunch of stuff popped up. Yep.
Which is good. It gives people a variety.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. And soon, hopefully, you'll be on one of ours.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't know. I will. I just gotta keep telling myself just to do it.
You will. You'll bite.
And I don't even think it's more of the change in how things are done. I think it's more of it's new to me, because I have the one self-published book that I put up there, and I think I've sold 3 copies, but I don't promote it either. So the fact that it's sold on its own is like, okay, great. But that was kind of like my dipping my toes in the water to see how it worked and how.
Right. And I found with self-publishing, if you don't promote, it's not going to go anywhere. So the way I promote is coming on podcasts, talking, and speaking at Paracons and different events.
Yep.
So the more I can speak and talk about the stories, the more my books do sell. And in turn, Mark sell more, and Eric's, people find him. So it just helps. It's really. My next speaking is I get to speak at Goblin Con coming up next weekend. So I'm so excited.
That one will be fun.
And for anybody that can't make it, it's only $10 to get in the door on Saturday, $10 on Sunday.
That's not bad at all.
No, but if you can't make it, if it's too far to go to Hopkinsville, there's an online streaming $10, and you get to hear the speakers and see some of the things going on. So they've really ramped it up. And this is only the second year that they've had this. And Eric, of course, is the coordinator, and he just knows so much about promoting and getting events out there. He just is great at it.
Yeah, I need to get back in touch with him too. He's another one that we catch up every once in a while, but then we lose track of each other for a while, and then something brings us back together. But we're actually I think we're going to start planning next year, but it probably won't be till 2028. But here in Texas, the big one in Texas, they've announced several times that they're not going to host anymore. I don't know if they are or they're not, the one hosted by the Kling brothers. But I haven't seen much on there for this year or next year. But I know that they're doing little things here and there, but we're looking to do something in Waco. I've partnered with a couple different organizations in downtown Waco. And I don't know if it's going to be like a full-blown Paracon or just a weekend retreat type of thing. But yeah,
Wow.
Get in touch with him and you guys, and we can figure out what's going on.
Right. I would like to come to Texas to one of the Paracons. Because I found that if you go to different ones, you can meet different people. And it's just the more people you meet, the better it is. The more you can network, the more you can, it's just better.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what with Ghost Ed, that's what we wanted to do. But between Tiffany having, I don't want to use the word issues, but you know what I mean. And my having issues this year, it's kind of like this year just, I can't believe it's only August, but for me, it's almost over. Because we planned Ghost Ed so far in advance. I'm already planning guests for next year.
Yeah.
So it's, it feels like this year is already done with. And
it feels really short, but it feels extra long.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's been the longest short year ever.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. A couple quick things in here. Antoine posted, how about a hotel employee passing pieces of paper assuming bills under a door in a hotel? It was summertime. Individual was dressed in a wool sweater wearing a derby hat. Hotel opened in 1859. That sounds like an interesting story idea.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Interesting.
And then which one was sold the most on Amazon and how many did you sell?
I can't give a good number on exactly how many sold, but it's from the signs. It's either Signs 1 or It's Not Goodbye, Signs from Beyond 2. Those, it seems like when people order the first one, they want to have the second one as well. And then when I was writing that second Signs book, that Death's Doorstep, I was getting so many near-death experiences and angel rescues that I thought that needed to have its own book anyway. So Death's Doorstep is part of the Signs family.
Okay.
So,
and then Waco, yeah. If you knew what we're working on in Waco, oh my goodness. I have the Dr. Pepper Factory. I've been talking to them. They have they actually do their own night tours anyway, but we're talking to them about other stuff. So yeah, Pam, if you ever make it to Waco, let me know. I'm also working with a very famous site from the late 80s, early 90s that had a shootout with DEA agents. Those of you who are watching, you can probably pick up on what I'm talking about, but we're working with doing something with a book on that location and paranormal activity that's happening there. So that's
nice.
Kind of interesting. So there's a lot in Waco going on. I live in Temple, but Waco is 35 minutes north of us, and I actually work in Waco every day. So I'm up there all the time, talking to people and doing stuff. And I will definitely let you know if we do anything in Texas, Anton. Just keep your fingers crossed. A lot of balls rolling, but a lot of balls got paused for the longest time. So, and I'll definitely if you follow Ghost Education 101, Pam, you'll be able to see everything that's going on, whether it's myself or my co-host. She's out of the Atlanta area. We'll be doing that stuff. And I had a question on my mind, but I completely forgot. Oh, the book if you ever do, what was the book that my story ended up in?
It was It's Not Goodbye. It was the first It's Not Goodbye, I believe, wasn't it?
Right. Okay. I think so. I have it written down somewhere, but I don't remember which one it was. But yeah,
the first. It was either, I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to figure that out.
I'm thinking it's the second one.
Okay,
I don't know. It's one of the It's Not Goodbyes.
Okay. But if you ever follow up on that one and do another one, let me know, because I mean, that story, for those of you who don't know, I was recently on Haunted Discoveries Family Spirits with Brandon Alvis and Mustafa, and we talked about what I wrote for your book and in detail and how everything happened. So that was kind of nice being able to share that in their documentary.
Nice.
But after my mom had passed, I was struggling real hard. And one night, I would say it was about 2 weeks after she had passed, my family, and she even believed in this too, so I think this was her way of letting me know, I had a dream, just like I had with my grandfather. And it was my mom, but it was my mom back in the 90s. So she had brown curly hair. She was a little bit thinner, was able to get around to do things. And she was typical mom, complaining about my dad, your dad this, your dad that, and she's like, and he makes fun of me. And I was trying to tell her, no, dad's not making fun of you. He's just laughing and trying to have a good time and make you not feel so sad. And then all of a sudden it was like in the dream, I snapped out of it. And I was like, Mom, I can't talk to you anymore. You're dead. And I hugged her and I'm like, I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. And as I'm hugging her, she vanished. And then I woke up.
Wow.
So yeah. And
But
that
you
would be
popped
something that I
in.
wouldn't mind sharing if you'd ever do it again.
Yes.
Another book like that.
I've already got a couple of stories for the third one.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay.
And my mom showed up as
Mhm.
well.
Okay.
She passed, and this was, to me, she showed up,
Mhm.
not in physical form or anything like that, but her memory just came like that. So what
Mhm.
happened with me, she died on Tuesday, the 19th of May. And it was uh, just one of those things that was long and drawn out. She had had some complications from surgery. She had developed, after a little mini stroke, I think, she developed vascular dementia.
Mhm.
And so she was just a different person
Yeah.
back in October. Um, we started mourning back then because it
Mhm.
just wasn't mom anymore. But so fast forward to May, she dies on the 19th. They call me, and I go up there and sit with her until the medical examiner comes. And I'm just sitting there talking to her. 2 days later, the night before her funeral, my husband and I are over at the house, and he's keeping me busy. He's
Mhm.
keeping me, doing things. And so I thought, well, I just need to go ahead and go through paperwork and get throwaway pile, shred pile, and keep pile.
Mhm.
And that's what I was doing. I'd already gone through two big piles, and I was in her little plastic filing drawer.
Yeah.
And this woman, she had been such a great bookkeeper when she and my dad had an auto parts store. But once that was over, she just became a terrible bookkeeper. She would just throw things in the drawer. And so I was in the top drawer of this little plastic filing cabinet, and I was almost done. My husband said, I'm just about done. And I said, okay, let me finish this drawer and we can go. He said, that sounds good. And about that time, I reached in. Now, this woman, she would get those little 6x9 journals,
Mhm.
and instead of writing in her bank deposit, everything that was she was writing checks for, the little register, she would get these little journals and use one of those instead.
Mhm.
She also used these little journals to write about every book she read. She was an avid reader. And back, she would read a book a day.
Mhm.
Sometimes she would get bored and she would have three or four going at the same time.
Yep.
So she had
Been
a little
there.
ADHD. So she would write down about all of the books she has read over the years, and it would say like, oh, I don't know, James Patterson, Cross,
Mhm.
excellent, excellent. And then she would have another one about a lesser known author that she says this is okay,
Mhm.
and then another one, no, don't ever buy this one again, don't ever buy this author again. And it just
Mhm.
about every book. And so I reached in and found this little journal, and I'm thinking, okay, which one is this, a bank one or a
Mhm.
book one? And I open it up. I have it behind me. This little, I reached in and opened it up, and it says Cindy, which my family calls me Cindy.
Mhm.
This was written on June 14th, 2014. And it says, Cindy, you have been after me a while now to write down some things I remember from my childhood and from the family. Well, here goes. Bet you wish you had not asked for it now. Ha ha. Love you, Mom. And then it said started a count on 6/14/14. And
Mhm.
it's all of these
Aw.
stories. And then there was this page in the back, and I flipped it, and it was upside down. I flipped it over. Gallant funeral home, what she wanted for her funeral. This was from
Mhm.
2014. She just died this year.
Right.
And she has down the song she wanted played. And remember, this is the night before the funeral. Um,
Right.
it's at Gallant Funeral Home, which Miss Gallant was her best buddy.
Mhm.
That's like a surrogate mom to her, and she would always call Miss Lee, and they'd go over there and have smoke breaks, and or just go over and have a smoke break. You know, it was
Right.
just one of those things.
Yep.
But she had 23rd Psalm she wanted read. She had the people she wanted down as pallbearers. Well, the ones now I just found this, so I couldn't find anything before that, and I couldn't remember anybody that she wanted as a pallbearer that could not lift a casket at this time, because they either had back surgery, they had a stroke, they had major hip surgery and couldn't lift anything. So all the people I knew that she would have chosen couldn't lift one anyway. And I had told Brad, I said, Brad, I don't think our little people can lift a casket. He said, I got you. Don't worry about it. We'll get, our people will lift the casket. Don't worry about it. And so I reached out to Brad because she had a message to him as well. And so I reached out to Brad and said, Brad, I found Mom's list of songs she wanted. Is it too late? He said, no. I can put them together during your visitation tomorrow for her. And I said, okay, good. I said, I'm going to send you something that she wrote just to you. And he said, okay. And so it says, tell Brad, I don't want to hear, doesn't she look natural? I want to hear, well, isn't she pretty? Haha. And she said, love you all. You all have been my life, Mom. And he said, I'll treasure that.
Yep.
I will absolutely. And you know what? That was the prettiest I have seen my mom in years. I did not like the way Dad looked. I did not like the way Wyatt looked. But Mom looked beautiful.
Aw.
It just makes my eyes water.
Yeah. You were meant to find that just before.
Yes. And Greg said, my husband said, how did you know to look there? I said, I didn't. I'm going through paperwork. I didn't know it was there. I didn't know she'd written that. But she started it back in 2014, and it was just meant to be found. So I think either I've frozen or you've frozen. I'm not sure which. So I'm going to keep talking. Are you guys? Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam. Am I frozen, Pam? I'm not sure. Anyway, so I am collecting. Oh, there. I kept going.
Nope, you're good.
Pam, is it me? Is it me?
I'm like, I lost internet. I sent you a message on Facebook just in case. I'm like, I'll be back soon.
Okay. Well, I kept going. But yes, so I am collecting more Signs from Beyond stories. Pam had one as well. And she put in the second Signs book.
Okay. Yep. She commented earlier she couldn't remember which one she was in either.
It was in the second one. So she actually had pictures that she sent me too that it was so it was a mystical looking picture. They were at the celebration of life. And it looked like this little tiny angel, fairy looking angel had come down to give her a kiss. It was such an amazing picture. So, and she let me put that in the book as well.
Aw. Looking to see what I might have missed while I was frozen here. You would think I work for a telecommunications company or something. I always complain to them about their internet. Actually, Anton did comment. He was talking about that it must be a true story, I'm guessing, that he was talking about. It was a hotel where Teddy Roosevelt did recruiting in their front of their
Oh,
bar.
wow. Interesting though, because they were slipping bills under the door, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, that's where to
'Cause
go.
I immediately thought of like back in a bar, and one of the can girls, one of the bar girls, was
Okay.
up there. I don't know, but now that doesn't sound like the same thing.
Yeah, same hotel where did recruiting in front of their bar, and then manager, I'm assuming, or yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, if you have more details about it, feel free to type it in, Anton. We'll discuss it. So, with everything that you have going on and all your books that you're working on at the same time, what is on the future, like the horizon for the future for you for the rest of this year?
Well, we've got the series still coming out. I'm going to keep bringing different books out, and then odd books like the Chill to the Bone is coming out next. That's going to be some darker stories. Things like You Just Told Me, like dark stories like that.
Right.
Yeah, amazing. So that kind of thing. And then I've got the Old Hospital book. It's just different things like that. And then I'm speaking wherever people will let me speak. So there's that. And I'm looking forward to GoblinCon. That's going to be fun.
Yep. Yeah, that one's on my list. I just had never gotten a chance to get to that one yet. Maybe next year.
Yes. Yes. Oh, he says it was when he was recruiting for the Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. That the headless stories, there were a couple of cowboy ghosts, and there were several Native American stories. One was a chief that actually got his head chopped off by a warring tribe that he was going up against, and they actually stole his head and took it back as a trophy for that chief's igloo.
Okay.
So that wasn't very nice.
No.
But
no.
You know, he was still searching for his head. It's just the colorful ghost we were talking about the other night, and a lot of them get the name of the green lady or the white lady because of the last thing they had on or what was in one of their portraits, you know, hanging above in the Great Hall or wherever.
Yep.
But some of them actually show up in that hazy, misty color that they're called, like the brown lady. There's two brown ladies. One of the Raymond. Now I'm going to get them mixed up because they're very close. One is Rayn, Ham. The other is Rain, and very similar. And they're both brown ladies.
When you talk of color spirits, did you include the blue boy from Gettysburg?
No, I didn't find that.
Okay. I believe Mark Nesbitt has that story in one of his Ghosts of Gettysburg book. But I remember that it was a VHS that he had put out several years. I mean, this was back in 94, 95. And this was only when he had like Ghost of Gettysburg 1 and 2 at the time. So it was probably in one of his first books. And it talked about a blue boy that girls would see in the female dormitorium. Wow. And he would be floating outside the window, and they would be on the second or the third floor. And they think it was like a little boy who froze in the middle of winter.
Oh.
And that he just makes an appearance. So, but yeah, that would be something from Mark Nesbitt. If not, I can get in touch with him and get that story to you if you ever do another colorful story.
You know, I think I'm going to have to intersperse them in different books.
Yep.
Since I've started.
Right.
And just because there's so many of them as well. There's a lot of white ladies and a lot of women in black and gray ladies. There's a lot of gray ladies around. So, and not just overseas. They're a lot here in the States.
Yep. And what I find funny is it's funny how some of the stories can also overlap each other. Because in Florida, over the time that I was there, I have the books that I have is ghost towns, lighthouses, pirates, roadside attractions, and those 4. But they all have, I've noticed a repetition of some of the stories. You know, like the St. Augustine Lighthouse appeared in 3 of them. It's
Okay,
amazing
yeah.
how all these stories can just kind of repeat themselves in different, in different themes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
is that the book that the pirate that was manifested is in?
That one is in it's what was it? Shoot. They changed up the title on the last one, but it's Legends of Florida Pirates is what it was. Because most of them are haunted, Florida lighthouses, and this one is Legends yeah. I'm like, why can't I think tonight? But yeah.
I'm right there with you. It's one of those nights. It's one of those. So, thank you. So, can you see what everything is? It's a mishmash. I love my decorations.
I can't. My office I had to tear down to get ready to move. So in next week, I may or may not be on next week's show because we're moving the next morning. But the week after, I'm hoping to have my library all set up and we'll be good to go. And I have my theme behind me. But yeah, I know I'm looking at your decoration and it's like,
I love them. I just, you keep adding, and at some point you run out of wall space and you run out of different things. So
yeah, we're doing floor to ceiling bookcases on 3 of the walls.
Nice.
Just because I mean, besides the books I've written, I have more books than I probably even can talk about. But yeah, and then figure out how to put the decorations up and everything like that. But yeah, I love the one. I think it's right behind your head, the ghost. It looks like he's holding something.
He's holding a black cat.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, he's so cute.
I don't know if you heard a little while ago that crash and something behind me. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was my black cat. She had jumped into the tin trash can and then gotten afraid. She's bigger than the trash can. And so it tipped over. She tipped over. She ran out and then yelled back at me, "Row!" Like I had done it. So
it was all your fault. No,
I know.
No, but now I remember it's Ghosts and Legends of Florida Pirates. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like I didn't write the book or anything like that. So let's go over a few of these comments real quick, and then let me see, where did I leave off at? Oh, Anton was talking about that it was a story of his, and he had mentioned that it was witnessed by one other person. And then, great show, ladies. Great to see you both. Heather, I'll message. Yes, definitely message me, and we'll get you on that show next week. If I'm not here, it'll definitely be my co-host, Tiffany, will be hosting that one. And then, have you ever thought some appear in color also has to do something with the orbs that are in color also?
Could very well be. But it also can be related to their aura and their chakras. So there's just a lot. I know some people think it's one thing, some think it's the other. I don't know. So I think it could be a combination of everything, or even something we haven't thought about yet. Maybe they will want to show up in that color.
It could have been their favorite color, right? But I know a lot of people put, and I mean, nothing against people who do this, but I've never put association with colors when it comes to photos or orbs or anything like that, as meaning, like, for example, people say if it's red, it's negative. If it's blue, it's this. If it's white, it's this. I've never felt that way. I mean, my mom, she had reported seeing a red orb in her room all the time, and people are like, oh no, and like we're trying to scare her. But she said she felt comforted whenever it would appear, so it didn't bother her. I know when I was in Gettysburg, I saw a bright red orb crossing over Triangular Field. I didn't feel any negative presence with that either. So I don't know. Who knows why things are colors?
And that's the thing. It's what you experience when you see that particular color. So I've seen red. I've seen amber color. some green and blue, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't felt any different with any of those colors.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
I don't know what color it is.
Color could be related to temperature.
Very well.
Yep.
Yes, it very well could be.
Mm-hmm. And then Pam says you're collective soul.
I am.
And then it just is what it is, no matter what color it is. Exactly. That's how I feel. And like you had said, it's how you feel in the moment. If you're afraid, it's a negative energy, or it could be, or at least negative towards you. Might not be negative to someone else. It just all depends on how you're feeling in the moment.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we've been talking a lot. I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted to talk about, or had any questions, or if anyone has any questions in the audience. I do know one question I do ask, of course, all of the people on the show is, what is your most memorable paranormal experience? I think you've shared it with us in the past, but if it's the same one, feel free to share it. If it's a new one, feel free to share that one too.
Did I tell you the one about Wyatt?
I think so. That was your nephew?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That has been my most profound. And because if you want me to tell it again, I can.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
It was we lost him in 2022, and I had been training him to be our videographer. He was only 19 and a half. It was a sudden, very tragic motorcycle accident. And most likely Mark later, when he was talking about connecting with Wyatt told him that he didn't see that coming, which is exactly something he would say. I didn't see that coming. It just happened so fast and he was gone. But my sister was telling a story about something that had happened, and I put it in the second science book. Something that had been put together so amazingly and so coincidence after coincidence after coincidence that it had to have some kind of divine intervention, had to. And she was telling me the story. I was recording it, and 6 minutes and 42 seconds in, Wyatt says, "Did you hear that?" Because he had just tapped twice on something, and it's the clearest and loudest EVP I've ever gotten. And if I never get another one, that's okay.
Yep. Yeah. I remember, I think I even might have mentioned it the last time you shared that story with him training with you and knowing exactly what you look for. That was his way of showing you that he learned from what you taught him.
Exactly. And, I've told that story several different times. And on one other podcast, I got a message about 3 days later, and he said, "Cyn, I've already gotten 6 EVPs, 1 from your end." And I said, "Oh, send me mine. He said, "You're not going to believe it." And I said, "Yeah, I will. And it was Wyatt just saying Wyatt, because I was talking about him again.
Yep.
And this guy's name was Ken. Creepy Ken was on this podcast. So Creepy Ken, I sent a message and said, "I'm going to give you his cell phone number." Did my cat come over to your place? I swear she was just there. That was Tazzy. I am so sorry.
That was Blueberry. She's knocking glasses over.
It sounded just like my Taz. But so I gave him this number, and it was Wyatt's cell phone that we still have. And I said, "Call it, let it go to voicemail." And he did. And he messaged me back and said, "Oh my goodness, that is him. It is him." I said, "Yeah, it's him."
Yeah, I always find it interesting. I haven't had it when you've been on the show, but I've had it with other guests, especially Bishop Long. I've talked about this several times. He was on the show talking about demons and exorcisms and a whole bunch of other stuff. And all of a sudden, halfway through the podcast, there was a loud growl that came from his side of it. And it was not just a short one. It was loud and long. And he didn't hear it. He just continued talking away. And, at the time, Philip was my co-host, and we're both like, did you hear that?
I can imagine Philip's eyes got really big.
Yeah, we're both like, do we tell him what we just? So we waited till the end of the podcast and we told him what we heard. He's like, oh yeah, that happens all the time.
Wow. But he did not hear it at the time.
He didn't hear a thing. No, but
yeah. Did your people hear it as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People in chat.
Yeah. The audience heard it too. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's interesting. And when you go back and replay it, you can hear it.
Oh.
And you can just, Bishop Long acts like nothing's going on. And
wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. People ask me, have I ever been around anything bad? And I don't want to. I don't want to be.
No.
I've been close, but no, I don't want to be.
Yeah.
It's above my pay grade.
I have. It's no fun. Because even the story that I shared earlier, we're not, because you never know 100% because we can't see them, who's actually doing it. So we aren't 100% sure if it was the dad, which is who we suspected it, or the entity tied to the property that led the dad to do what he did. So it's kind of like, we don't know who attacked us. But yeah, it's scary when you get that close to something.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, because even the investigator that I was talking about, his mom also recently passed away, and he knows his house is haunted, and he has haunted dolls that he's taken from the client on this case that we were on. He has haunted dolls from her house, and he had a dream a few nights after she had passed, but during the dream, his mom hugged him, and he started screaming, "You're not my mom," and it completely changed in his dream, and it wasn't his mom. So,
that just gave me chills.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get him on the show to talk about it in a couple weeks, but his schedule being out in Vegas and working, he's still working at this time at night.
But he knew it wasn't her.
He knew it wasn't her. Yeah. And he thinks it's whatever's in the house, but he knows it's there. He doesn't entertain it. He doesn't even acknowledge when it tries to get his attention. So, and I think that was whatever it was, its way of trying to get in.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't let it in. Yeah.
Well, but he can't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. No. I don't think, it's not that he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to entertain the fact that it's there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because he's a firm believer you don't investigate your own home. He doesn't even, if something falls and it shouldn't have fallen, he doesn't investigate to see what fell. He just, if something happens, he doesn't give him the time of day.
Which is probably the best thing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just, and so it's kind of interesting how he does things, but he, feels safe at home because he knows that they're not going to do anything to him because he doesn't even acknowledge them and give them the power they're looking for.
That would terrify a lot of people.
It would. Yep.
And those things would eat off that energy all day long.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why him and I do what we do, because we want to consult. We don't do residentials anymore. I mean, he still does, but I don't. But I still offer, if someone needs to talk about it, if someone needs help, I know where to get them the help. Yeah.
I have done more Zoom calls since 2020 than anything, helping people clear their own energy and homes and stuff. And it's just been easier too.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing is at about 2020 when COVID hit, because that was my second to last residential. I had one more residential, but then the client didn't even want to help themselves. We would tell her what she needed to do and she didn't want to do it. And so we kind of moved on from her. Yeah. And if you're not going to do the work, it's not just us doing the work. You got to put work in too.
Yeah.
We decided to do more not so much public investigations, but public locations, because I want to experiment. I want to find out what paranormal activity really is. I want to find out what, components make up a ghost.
Right.
Type of thing. And you can't walk into a client's home and be like, hey, we've never done this before, but we're going to experiment in your, you can't do that because they want answers. They don't want.
Well, a lot of us want to show too.
We've had that happen too.
So I found too with that, I'll just send out a questionnaire, and if they don't have enough interest to fill it out,
Yeah.
they're not
Yep.
really needing me.
Nope. Nope. I know Steve Dills, he was one of our original Ghost at 101 educators. And he always shared a story that they showed up and the girl was there. They were all dressed like it was party night out. They were drinking and she had all of her friends over and she thought they were there to put on a show. And he would share that story. But then we had one team, or not one team, one customer. Oh my God, I'm back in work mode.
A client.
And she went through all the steps, filled out the questionnaire, gave us her medical records, and shared these long stories of what was happening. And we showed up, and she's like, "Where's your film crew?" And I looked at her, and I was like, and my partner was with me, and he's like, "What do you mean film crew?" And she's like, "Well, Heather works with motion picture video, which I do." And they're like, and I'm like, "They don't follow me around every day." I'm like,
wow.
Oh my God. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, and I said to her, I'm like, I haven't seen them in like 2 years. I go, we haven't worked together in a while. What are you talking about? And she's like, oh, we just expected the film crew to be with you. And I'm like, no.
No.
I'm not a reality show. I'm a documentary. And that's
They really wanted the show.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm like, that's not how it works. And I go, and if you want to be on a show yourself, you don't go through the cast. You go through the publishers or the producers. It's like people have a skewed view of the paranormal.
Yes. And if most of them knew really what we did is, sit in the dark and wait for something to happen. Mm-hmm. I had a friend of mine wanted to come on an investigation. So it was before they tore my mom and dad's store down, and my husband had gutted it. So nothing was in there. And it was kind of active. So we would go down there just to see what we could come up with. And my friend wanted to go. So he comes, and I said, okay, we're going to be here at such and such time. He comes, he's got a cooler. He walks in cowboy boots, and it's an old concrete floor. So all you hear all night is clump, 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 clump. And it's, terrible.
Yep.
But yeah, and he never asked to do it again either. Mm-hmm. He was the entire time.
No, it's because when we did do the documentaries, I think we were gone 2 days, and then we filmed 2 additional days that were separate days but not together. And it was like, probably 60, 70 hours worth of filming for them to do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, because you pick out the best parts.
Right.
Which same thing they do for the shows.
Mm-hmm.
They might have 3 or 4 days worth. I know when when Zach and his crew came down for the old hospital, they had 4 days blocked off, and he was gone in 3 days and let the film crew do the rest, the B-roll or whatever. And they take the best to make that hour show minus all the commercials. So really it's like 40 minutes.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Cause when I filmed with them, I had just moved to Florida, but they had told me the film days, and it was 4 or 5 days in Vegas, and I couldn't get out there for it. So I filmed remotely, and they just asked me questions that way. But I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like 4 or 5 days, and I knew where they were going. And it was like, you could do that, and you can investigate the place in 30 minutes and you're going to get activity. But it's one of those things where you gotta, cause you never know.
Right.
If you're going to get activity somewhere or not, and you got to make sure that, but yeah, it's amazing how people think it's like you show up and it's like activity immediately starts happening, and
right.
It doesn't.
And you can give them an idea of who exactly it is and go through all of your evidence and have it done, and the night's over, and then you leave. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen like that, because you've got all that evidence to go through, and it takes days.
Yep. Yeah. And I do it. I don't know if you do, but I know I'm one that goes through it multiple times. Mm-hmm. If it's audio, I'll watch it with my eyes closed. I'll watch it, multitasking, because sometimes you hear things when, and then it's like, then I listen to it like you normally should. Video, I do the same thing. Watch it, listen to it. it's
you
not,
listen to it more than I do.
Yeah.
You listen to it a lot more than I do, because I can't, I don't want to sit there that long. And
see, I'll do it one round, and then it could be a couple weeks before I go back.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
That works.
It's not all in one sitting. It's, I still have evidence that I want to do a second or third pass through, and I haven't been on an investigation in 3 years because life has been so crazy.
Yeah. So. I haven't been on a team investigation since Wyatt died. Mm-hmm. I've been doing things with other people like Eric, and just going and meeting new people and getting away from the team for a while. Nothing against my team at all. It just hurts still.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'll get back into it. Not yet.
We need to go on one together. I'd love to see how we investigate together.
I would love it. I would so love that. Mm-hmm. We'll have to figure something out.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just a few more things in the comments, Pam. It's Ghost Education 101. If you can't find that, you could also look up Heatherly PhD. That comes up on a page, or Exploring the Paranormal, or Exploration Paranormal. I'm like multiple pages, so there's tons of ways you can get a hold of me. If not, reach out to Cyn and she can get you in contact with me as well. And then from our YouTube channel, right now we're not bringing any additional people on the show if you're still watching, but feel free to message us and we can get you on one of our future shows where we do panel discussions. We do have a couple panel discussions coming up next year where we're bringing non-paranormal investigators on the show to talk about their paranormal experiences. And then Mr. Response, it was the Mentor Hotel in San Antonio. I haven't been to that one. I know we're going to San Antonio in October. And we're staying at the Crockett Hotel and going to the Alamo.
Nice.
So, yes, we're looking forward to that. It's a SeaWorld getaway, because the one thing we miss about Florida is SeaWorld.
Yeah, and San Antonio has a great one.
Yeah, so we're going to go do that for 3 days and then head over to the Alamo and do a few other things in San Antonio that night.
I love the Alamo. I love the Riverwalk and all that.
Yep.
I lived there. It's when I was doing physical therapy, traveling as a therapy assistant, and San Antonio was one of the places I lived.
Okay.
I loved it.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And then next year, because we try to explore as much as we can where we live. So like in Florida, we did as much as we could to get out and about. We did the same thing in Nevada. So here in May, we were supposed to do it in October, but it got pushed back. So that's why we flipped to San Antonio. We're going to Galveston for 2 days. And then we're taking a cruise. But the cruise is taking us to Key West.
Oh, I am so jealous.
We're going to meet up with David Sloan, and he's going to take us on a tour and meet up with Robert the Doll while we're in Key West.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah. Because I haven't seen David. Actually, I haven't met David face to face, but we've known each other for years, and I haven't been to Key West or seen Robert for years. So I think it was before my husband and I met each other, and we've been together 19 years.
Wow. So. Key West is still on my bucket list.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. I really wanted to get there next year for their April Ghouls event with David Sloan, Dustin Perry, and a whole bunch of others. That's happening April 1st. But I don't think that's going to happen with everything else I have going on.
Yeah, you're having to find spots in your calendar for you.
Yeah, it's between work and, of course, promotions and, I'm going to take the promotion, get the money, and get these books up and running so that way I can fit everything in. Oh my God, my list just keeps getting longer and longer, and everybody's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I can't take vacation until now. And
I know.
It's tough fitting it in with I've had this job 3 years now, and I forgot what it's like to have a full-time job because I had always worked from home for the last several years.
It makes a huge difference too, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. Yep. I would be definitely doing more events because I did a lot of events. What was it, 2022 and 23? I had done a lot of events in Florida and was guest on podcast. I'm so afraid to even reach out to people to be a guest on their podcast because it's like I don't want to have to cancel because a couple months down the road the schedule may change.
Mhm.
And that's the whole reason why you make sure I have a co-host, because if I can't be on, the show can still continue and she can do
Right.
it. Yep.
Right. It's hard just fitting everything in, trying to.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. So definitely you're going to help me get those books published. That way we can
You got it.
get me to where I don't have to work as much and we can go do more stuff together.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I can't
And then
wait.
I would love to. You're actually one of the ones on my list to co-author a book together. Would love to do that down the road too. Yeah.
I would love
I
that.
think that would be a lot of fun.
I would love
Not
that.
sure what it would be about yet, but I think that would be fun to do.
Okay. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. And that list is very short, just so you know.
Oh,
It's not a very long list.
thank you very much. I appreciate that very much.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
figure out something.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And so anyone have any other questions before we get going? I know it's getting a little late. We can continue on until 10 o'clock or we can cut it short. It's up to you. If you have anything else you want to talk about, we seem to cram a lot in that short period of time.
I know. I'm usually like blah, 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 and everything.
Yes. Yep.
I can't think of anything right off.
The one thing I do, I end every show. I don't know if you've seen any of our recent shows, and I don't know if I did this when you were on the show when we talked about the authors back then with Mark, but we now do a speed round at the end of the show where I ask you 10 quick questions. Say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Do you prefer ghost or cryptids?
Ghost. I don't know anything about cryptids.
Your favorite paranormal investigation tool?
Myself.
Scariest location you've ever investigated?
The old hospital here.
Okay. One haunted location you haven't investigated yet, but absolutely want to?
The lunatic asylum, West Virginia. Allegheny.
Yes. I haven't been to that one either, so I'm putting that on my bucket list.
We should go.
Yes, that would be our place to go.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, there's a whole bunch of places on. And in the last 2 years, I know I'm getting off track here, but in the last 2 years, I was finally able to check one off, and that was Waverly Hills.
We are doing that next year, so I'll be able to check it off.
Yep. Mine was accidental. I didn't have plans to it. When I was filming with Brandon, they told me, okay, we're flying you into Kentucky. I'm thinking we're going to a studio. So I show up all dressed up and in heels.
Oh, no.
And the producer picks me up. Good thing I brought a pair of flat sandals with. So I'm still in sandals, but I had flats with just in case my feet hurt from the heels. And we're driving. I'm on my phone texting my husband. They just picked me up. I'm on my way, to do the filming. And she says to me, she's like, hey, do you know where we're at? And I looked up and I'm like, no effing way. And it was I was like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I was like so excited. I'm like, I could not believe it. But yeah, so it was an accidental crossing off my list, but I got to cross it off my list.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing like that ever happens to me.
It will one day. I couldn't believe it. I even told Brandon, came up to me. He's like, hey, Heather, glad you're here, blah, 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 blah. And, introducing me. And him and Mustafa took me on a private tour of the whole place. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I know I should be geeking out meeting you, but I'm more geeking out over the location.
I would have been geeking out at both.
I'm like so geeking out. I'm like, hey, and I'm like saying, hey, can we go over here? And I'm like,
where's the death chute?
Right. It was, I had a blast doing that weekend. That was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Anyway, getting back to the questions, EVP or full body apparition, which would you rather capture?
I would like to see full body. I've only seen 5 spirits. So yeah, I want to add to that.
Ouija board, yes, no, or absolutely not?
Depends on who it's with. It's fine.
Investigate alone or with the team?
Both.
Oh, someone's meowing in the background. Was that you or mine?
It's my baby.
Oh,
Yes, Tazzy. She's like, yes, I'm the one that, I'm the one that knocked over the trash can because I jumped in it. She's like, how dare you tell that in front of people? She's
you're embarrassing me, Mom.
I can't believe you did that.
Stop embarrassing me, Mom.
Bless her heart. She's still staring at me.
Mine, I don't know where mine went. They both took off.
After that crash.
I know. Neither one of them wants to get in trouble for it. What's scarier, an abandoned hospital, haunted prison, or creepy old house?
Ooh, that just depends. It can be any of those.
Mhm.
I found most hospitals are just plain creepy.
Mhm.
And that can be the one still in business.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. If you could investigate with one paranormal investigator, living or dead, who would it be?
You!
Okay, besides me.
Oh, gosh. I don't.
I'm going to make you think now. You can't get away with the easy answer.
You know, let's go way out there and bring Tesla in and
Yes.
take some of his equipment around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we actually had someone who brought in, they were like mini Tesla coils. And
How
he brought them
cool.
into an investigation, and we were having fun with that one. And they were popping. It was kind of interesting.
That would be amazing.
But not something I recommend because it did shock very hard because I actually
Did
touched
it?
one of them. Yeah.
Did you notice
So.
that you got a little antsy with
Mhm.
those going off?
Yep.
Yeah. There. Do you like the what do you the little EMF pumps? I don't like those.
I haven't worked with them because I've heard of people who have worked with them, and they say they get that. It's almost like it creates the paranormal experience because it makes you uncomfortable.
Yes, it makes me jittery, completely jittery. I just don't like them.
Yeah,
And I
because I know people who've worked with like Jacob's Ladder as well. Same thing with that one. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I still stick with old school tools and non-traditional. So I mean, I'll use pendulums, fidget spinners. People laugh at me all the time for that, but I love my fidget spinners. They go with me on every investigation.
I've got
So,
one that I keep. Mhm.
Yep. So I try to do different things and not the high techy tools. The only time that I use the tech tools is if I want a scientific answer to something.
Mhm. Mhm. I like that.
And I had one more question. Where to go? Oh, and are there some doors in the paranormal world that should never be opened?
See, I don't know because I don't know enough about any of it to answer that. We're all still learning. Yeah.
It's an ongoing process, and you never know. And are we even opening doors? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Are they here all the time, or
Mhm.
who knows?
Are we making more? I wonder too if the groups that come out that don't know a lot about it and are just getting started and have just watched the television shows
Mhm.
and go out and a lot of these communication channels are left open
Mhm.
because they don't know to close them.
Yep.
So that's to me is scary.
Yep. Yep.
You don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that people shouldn't get into the field because I'm all for getting into it.
Right.
But I'm also all for, before doing certain things, you should at least learn or ask questions from people who have done already before. Because there are so many different explanations out there. I mean, it could be the different theories that we're working on is, that spirits really aren't spirits. We don't experience them all the time because it's parallel dimensions. And we encounter them as the dimensions cross wavelengths together.
And we don't know how often that happens either.
Right. Yep.
Time slips and parallel universes even. And
right. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then, I mean, the other thing too is like with the Hatman project, I know we've put that on hold right now, but a few of the things we've noticed is a lot of Hatman encounters occurred with like 411 missing people and all of that stuff.
Really?
So one theory is is the Hatman taking them? Or are these parallel dimensions crossing over at a certain point and all the factors, fit in, is the person slipping to the other dimension?
Interesting.
Type of thing. So it's all these theories. You never know what could happen. You never know. And if not, they make for great books.
Right. Talking when my mom was in the nursing home, some of the girls would say they found out I wrote books and all that. But they told me about a hat man there that show up. And I asked, was there a death soon after? They show, yeah, just about every time.
Yep.
Just almost immediate to 2 to 3 days later. Time span.
Interesting. Yeah, I know the two hospitals. Actually, I have a lot of hospital stories, which is kind of sad. The two that stick out is the first one is I was in the hospital having chest pain, so they admitted me to run a whole bunch of tests just to make sure. And my mom came in to visit me, and she was sitting there, and I was sharing a room with an elderly lady who had fallen and broken her leg, but she was on hospice. And at night, I couldn't get any sleep because not only was the woman talking, but so were the 5 spirits in the room talking to her. And I was just like, and I would just sit there and listen because I knew it was family. She was comforted by them and they were, comforting her. And then my mom, just out of the blue, when she was visiting me one afternoon, just started singing. And my mom's like, I don't know what song it was that I was humming. It just came to her. But then the woman next to me started humming with my mom.
The same thing.
Same song.
What?
Yeah. So it was like, oh my God. So that was kind of an interesting. And I said, something's here. And my mom's like, I know something's here. And I'm like, no, there is something here because they were talking all night last night. And it's like they wouldn't shut up. And then was it a couple months before my mom had passed? She was in the hospital for low, not blood sugar, low iron count. And they were running tests on her. And this one wasn't paranormal, but because of the field I am, this is how we think. My son and I were walking into the room, and I walked by one of the rooms, and I swore I saw a man in a brown, like almost like a Grim Reaper, brown cloak with a hood over his head. And I was like, no, I didn't see that. And I kept walking. We walked back to the car, saw it again, but this time it was standing over the person. But then as we walked through the hallway again later on in the day, it was the priest from the woman's church. They're giving her last rites. but walking in the hallway, you see this big thing standing over her. And I'm like, and my son's like, I didn't see anything because he wasn't paying attention. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm sick. And then we both saw it as we were walking.
That would make you take a double take.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, am I seeing things? It's like, but yeah, no, that one wasn't paranormal, but yeah, it was kind of funny.
Thank you for telling me that because now I can, I can tell half more of mine.
It's, oh my God, stories like that. And then the same visit at the hospital, though, this was interesting. She was on the 3rd floor. The hospital had 5 floors. And I pushed first floor, and I know I got into the elevator with the down arrow. But I went up to the elevator, went up to the 5th floor. And the hospital chaplain got on the elevator with me. And he was like, oh, you look sad. And he talked to me the whole way down. And I felt better talking to him about what was going on with my mom. And even though her death was unexpected, she did have medical issues. So I was always worried about her. But yeah, he talked to me the whole way down. And once we got to the 1st floor, I felt better. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, I hit 1st floor. I wasn't supposed to go to the 5th floor. And that's where he got on at.
Somebody knew you needed that.
Yep.
And there are no coincidences.
Nope. But yeah, so those are, and then the only other hospital story I have is visiting my husband. They pulled him out of his room to do some tests, and he was the last room on the hallway. And someone in a hospital gown walked, but never came back. And there was a wall. So it was like, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, there's this, patient just wandering the hall. So I peeked out the door and there's no one there.
Wow. Wonder who that was.
I have no idea, but it was a modern one because it didn't look like it had, a period hairstyle or anything like that. And it looked like the type of gown that my husband had on. But yeah, his was the last room and there was nowhere to go.
Wow. Yep. There's a lot of nurses that are still on call on their halls and are, at all of these hospitals, whether or not the hospitals are still there.
Yep. They're still doing their job. Yep. Yeah. That reminds me. Have you ever watched the show Ghost?
Yes,
When
I
she
love
first
it.
talked with the doctor and he's giving her, this is what it could be. Oh, wait, your human doctor's here. She's good. That's like something we'd experience.
Right, right. I love both of them, the British version and the
Yes.
American version.
Yep.
They
I
were.
heard the British version, they're doing a standalone movie.
Oh, I hope so because
Yeah.
I actually liked it. I think a little bit better just because I love accents.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like is one of them, which one? Oh, I can't remember her name. But she was just a little too whiny for me.
On the British one.
Yeah, it was. Oh my
No, I
God.
don't remember because it's been so long now.
I
I'm
know. Now I'm going to have to watch it. But there was just one that she just came across as too whiny at times for me. But yeah, I still like that one better because I love different British shows.
I do too.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat's now decided to play again.
Aw. Came back out after the terror.
Yep. Yeah. Nope. She's not going to like it because when we're done with the show, she's going back to bed. We've had to keep her and the dog separate at night
Aw.
because the dog wants to check up on her. But when you have a 55-pound dog and a 4-pound cat, and the big dog doesn't know their own strength.
Now, what's to your left shoulder? Uh-huh.
This one right here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the cat tower.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
seeing something. Was that your arm or
Yeah. There's a ball, or it could be my arm.
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know if what kind of dog do you have?
She's an Australian Shepherd.
Okay, so she doesn't have a long, bushy
No,
blonde
she doesn't.
tail.
No,
So
she doesn't have a tail.
It was
Yeah,
either your arm or something was behind you on that side.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
No. No, my husband won't be able to sleep tonight.
Don't tell him I said that.
He's
It
probably
looked like
watching. No.
it looked like a pet's tail.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the chair is white, but I don't know.
No, this was moving.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it maybe I was just seeing things.
Mhm.
You just never know.
I'm definitely going to go back and watch now. I need to start doing that more often because, like last week, we were doing the Gilchrist jail in Florida. And they actually were live in the jail walking around during the show. And there was a shadow that ran by. And I wrote the time down and everything. I just haven't had a chance to get back and watch. And they're like, oh, no, that happens all the time.
Wow. I hope you got that.
Yeah.
I hope you got it.
I'm hoping so, too, because that was one of those things where it was interesting to see. But, yeah. You
Nice.
just never know what happens when you talk about them. You don't have to be in a haunted location for it to happen.
And you know, I said I want to see other spirits. I see a lot out of the corner of my eye, and when I turn, it's like my mind says, "No, you're not ready to see them. You have to look at them straight on," and they're not there anymore. But I don't know. We'll see.
I always get asked, "Are you scared to do what you do?" And it's like, because where I work, I have two college students because we have Baylor University right there. So we've hired 2 college students and they're like all into the paranormal. And they ask me 101 questions throughout the day whenever we have a break. And they're like, are you afraid? And I'm like, I get that question asked a lot. I said, I'm not afraid of the spirits themselves. It's the startle factor. It's you turn around a corner and there's someone standing there that shouldn't be standing there. I'm not afraid of that person. I'm just afraid of the situation.
Yeah. And 2, when we're in these places, a lot of times there are people that spend the night there, homeless people or whatever, and sometimes you come across them. And I'm more afraid of live people than I am of spirits.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely agree with that one. That situation. But yeah, I'm just going to check. I know Anton was answering the questions as we were going too. He was saying that the Crockett Hotel is good as well. Yeah, that's one of the historic hotels down there. I can't wait to see that one.
Oh, I'd love it.
And then in Mineral Wells, Texas, Alone for Research, and then High Tech as well. And then same space, multiple dimensions, and doorways in between. But yeah, definitely, it was great to have you on tonight. Was looking forward to it. So glad it happened.
Me too.
And, we definitely, like I said, we need to investigate together, and we need to work on a book somewhere down the road together. We need to definitely work more on some projects, and
That sounds wonderful.
Touch, not just
Yes,
not just when you're coming on the show. We definitely need to get you in.
That sounds good. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
No problem. And do you want to remind everybody exactly how they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Cyn Shrader Hill, author. Also, Elk Valley Paranormal's on Facebook. You can reach me, Cyn Shrader Hill, author, at gmail.com if you have stories about signs from beyond or spooky stories that you want me to include in books. I'd be happy to. Just send them to me there. And my website, elkvalleyparanormal.com, and my books are on Amazon. Just look up Cyn Shrader Hill. You'll find Mark Elliott Fultz and Eric Freeman Sims also.
Perfect. And thank you again so much. And thank you everybody for watching. You can catch us on Facebook at Ghost Education 101, or you can catch the replay on YouTube at Ghost Education 101, or subscribe there as well and follow us every Wednesday. I say this every week. I'm not even going to show you our website because that is pending still and not up and running. But join us next week for a panel discussion about the Hat Man and the Shadow People. I think tonight we filled one of the remaining spots. So if anyone has any experiences with either of those and would like to share their stories next week on the show, let me know. Reach out to us and we'll definitely get you on that panel discussion next week. So again, thank you so much, Cyn. It was great to have you here. Definitely looking forward to chatting with you again soon.
Me as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And everyone have a great night. Bye.